I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious...
Stylish and practical, Gannex raincoats were a staple fashion item throughout the 60s. One of the few iconic pieces of clothing to come out of Yorkshire, the coat became a symbol of authority, famously worn by former Prime Minister Harold Wilson. But now the factory in Elland, which used to produce the raincoats, is being demolished. After standing derelict for over 10 years, social housing company Pennine Housing has bought the site and the 16-week demolition project is underway. Peter France, who now engraves metal for a living, started work at the Gannex factory in 1963.
Well, I started in the rubber spreading department. The process involved putting roughly 7 or 8 coats of rubber onto a roll about a metre and a half wide of nylon, and then you tested the material and it had to stand, I believe it was about £15 a square inch water pressure.
Gannex was invented in Elland in 1951 by Joseph Kagan, a Lithuanian Jew and Holocaust survivor.
He wasn't the sort of man that you pass the time of day with easily. He was to a degree affable, but also he kept himself somewhat remote. He used to cultivate the celebrities of the time, and we were forever being visited by celebrities, for want of a better term. People like Jimmy Savile, who used to come fairly regularly. I've seen, if anybody remembers Mike and Bernie Winters, they used to come, and people, they had Miss World a couple of times there.
But raincoats and celebrities weren't the only things to come out of the mill. Mary and Kevin Crossley met at the factory and got married soon after.
You only saw people at dinner time, which was a communal canteen. Very good meals actually, no problem with that. And basically we saw each other there, and a friend of ours arranged, if you like, a blind date, wasn't it, as such, for the night, and that's what we did. In them days people wore suits. Lads all wore suits. There were no jeans that went out on a weekend, it was suits. So when you went out in a suit, you needed either, if it were freezing, an overcoat or a raincoat, which they made both types, as I've said. As time went on then, as you got into the 70s, people, or the younger generation, the suits started to vanish, and more people, young'uns, were buying cars, so the need for overcoats started to vanish slightly, and I think it was just a downward trend then.
The Kagan Empire came to an end shortly after Lord Kagan was sent to Rudgate Prison for tax evasion and accused of spying for the Russians during World War II. But the building is still full of remnants from the Gannex days, from materials used to make the raincoats to old catalogues. The phrase, "if the Lords could talk," springs to mind. This building has seen over a century of Elland's history. It's seen celebrities, disasters, scandals. It's been a place of work for hundreds of people with hundreds of stories, and now all those memories are gradually being swept away as the past makes way for the present.
It's more of our industrial heritage that's gone. I remember people painting Gannex mill on it, on the outside, in a boatswain's chair with a weight slung over a roof and them dangling on the end of a rope. Sign writing. I seem to remember somebody singing "Weem Away," getting threatened with the sack by one of the managers who came shouting upstairs, thinking somebody had been stuck in a machine. It's just a pity that it's going to be demolished.